The Royal Enfield Bear 650 is a lot of things, but it is not a scrambler. Why? Let's get into the details. Hey guys, welcome to IAMABIKER, and finally we have ridden the Royal Enfield Bear 650. Well, you already heard the intro. The Interceptor Bear 650. Well, it is a derivative of the Interceptor. That's why the Interceptor Bear 650. There are a lot of interesting things to talk about. So let's start with the engine and performance. So basically the engine is identical to the Interceptor, and basically any of the 650cc twins that is out there. We have a lot of them right now, right? But due to the change in the exhaust system, it's a 2-in-1 exhaust system. There's a slight weight reduction. There's a slight power increase, very slight power increase, and also there is about 4 and more of torque. So how all this comes together? Well, first of all, it sounds great. I think this is how the twins should sound like in a stock setup. It sounds really great. It's very peppy, even like brap brap. It feels very nice. And then when it comes to the feel of the engine, it feels very familiar. Even though there's a slight amount of more torque and slight amount of more power, it feels very familiar. The acceleration, the sound, everything feels very familiar, and the refinement also is quite familiar. Now, what does it feel on the road? Well, it's the same character as before. It pulls away cleanly. It's quite refined. It sounds great. The 270-degree firing order. Now it's a bliss to hear when you just open up the throttle in any gear, and it's smooth. Even higher up, you have enough bottom end torque. Third, fourth gear, you can still pot around town. Yes, in city traffic, you have heat thrown at you. All those quirks remain. But how it comes together on the Bear is that once you get going, the new stance, the new feel, the different suspensions change the game. On that thought, let's get into the handling. So with the revised suspensions and the tire sizes, the Bear 650 feels quite much bigger than the Interceptor 650. Not in a bad way, just that when you park it and you look back at it and you're like, whoa, this is a big motorcycle, and it gives that big motorcycle that looks like a big proper scrambler. But the weight of it and the way the suspensions are tuned, the type of suspensions, basically, there's not a huge amount of travel, there is not a huge amount of ply, it's quite stiff. So if you take it off the road, you're not really going to have fun. Yes, if you push it hard without probably doing the jumps and stuff, you can use the power, you can use the weight, and it's really stable. You can slide around and it's a whole lot of fun on a little bit of slippery surface, loose mud and stuff like that. But if things get serious off-road, then the Bear is not going to keep up. It's just going to be like, bro, I'm actually a street bike. I have got knobby tires and I've got long suspensions and stuff, but I'm not really meant for this. So it basically looks like a scrambler, but it's more of a road bike on steroids. And it's a good thing actually, because with this weight, you really don't want to take it off road and drop it, and you're going to have a little bit of trouble picking it up and pray that it doesn't land on your leg. So like I said before, the one good thing is that compared to the Interceptor, when you sit on the Bear, you feel you're in a very commanding position. Like you're sitting upright, you're sitting a much taller, and you got a much more commanding feel on the handlebars. You have much better visibility. On the Interceptor, you sort of clump into the bike, sort of like you become like, okay, I'm in the bike. But on the Bear, you're still in the bike. You get the same feel, but you're sitting much taller and it's a more commanding riding position. So in traffic, you get much better visibility, and it's a much more better fun motorcycle in traffic than the Interceptor. And with the increased ground clearance and the change in tire sizes and suspension, etc., it's much more safer to our great roads, and you feel much more happy going over a pothole and things like that, and it's like, I'm okay. While on the Interceptor, you need to take a second thought, especially when you're having a pillion, things like that. Yeah, the clutch is a bit hard, and weirdly it's too fat. The levers are like so big. I mean, it should have been a little bit more narrow. Doesn't really help with the clutch, holding the clutch. And of course, yeah, city traffic, you have the heat thrown at you. The suspensions are good when you are like pushing it, like if you're doing a small jump over a pothole or over a speed breaker. but generally it is quite stiff, and especially if you are with the pillion, both of you are really going to know, yes, it does become a little bit more pliant with the pillion, and you do enjoy the ride a little bit more on good roads when you have a pillion. But the moment the road gets bad, both of you are going to have a little bit of a struggle. But it's not bad like Interceptor. Like the Interceptor had a very small seat also, so it was kind of weird that way. But on the Bear, you'll be much more comfortable than the Interceptor, but still it's stiff and not meant for the long rides, especially with the pillion. Single ride, I think you can do it as long as the roads are decent. The one thing that I noticed with the Bear 650 was that, let me know if you guys experienced this as well, is that initially when I took the bike, the first 20-30 kilometers, I'm taking it a bit easy, not giving it like whacking open the throttle. And the vehicle gave me a very heavy, very big bike feel, in the sense that, I had to lug it around. It was not happy to turn. It was, it felt like struggling. And then after our first break, once we started shooting the videos for this review, and then I started pushing the bike, and my opinion till then was like, man, what have Royal Enfield done? Interceptor could do this anyways. When I started pushing the bike, I started having a whole lot of fun. It holds its line very strongly during a corner. Yes, the stiff suspensions does not like small undulations in the corner. It's sort of small undulations means that it'll take you off the line a little bit, but at the same time it holds its line very well on good smooth roads, and even fast corners. It's really nice, long wheelbase and everything. It feels really good and planted. And even off-road, when you're really pushing it and sliding, the weight and everything sort of really stabilizes you. It can do like huge slides and then open up the throttle, and it will keep up without kicking out the back too hard. So all that is fun. So the Bear 650 feels fun when you're pushing it hard. Let me know if you guys have test ridden it and you felt the same. So coming to the braking, well, dual channel ABS and the brakes pretty much standard, nothing exceptional to talk about. It does its job very well. The tires also remind you of the Pirelli STRs, but these are a little bit more rounder and the knobs a little bit more smaller to keep it more easier on the road. But yeah, it does its job well. It holds the line, it brakes well. Under hard acceleration, it doesn't break traction that easily. We haven't really tried it out in the wet. Now it's summer and hot AF everywhere, so it's good in the dry conditions, tricky road conditions, and off-road. Not like crazy off-road, but yeah, dusty, loose gravel sort of scenario. But yeah, it's fun to open up the throttle and it really kicks up the dirt as well. Probably there's an argument there for Royal Enfield to add some more electronics onto the bike, traction control and things like that. But hey, it's fun to slide the rear sometimes, right? The 650 twins from Royal Enfield never really had a problem with build quality, and the Bear 650 also remains the same. Good build quality all over, nothing really to complain about. I like the color options available. There's this maxed out, the yellow one which we are riding, and then there are the subtle colors also. So there's something for everyone out there. The one thing I miss is the classic, the meter console that came first with the Interceptor, and that was a beauty by itself. The new meter which is there now on every bike, the Himalayans and other bikes, the low spec ones have a different one of course, but like the Hunter etc. But basically this is the Himalayan, same meter console as the Himalayan. It's alright, but the old classic look was much better suited for this sort of a motorcycle, I feel. So then who is the Bear 650 for? Well, if you're looking for a scrambler that you can do some off-road adventures with, well, stay away, because this does not handle well. I think you'll have much more fun with the Triumph Scrambler 400X, the Himalayan, even the new X-Pulse. So this one is something that looks like a scrambler, basically gives the vibes of a scrambler. It looks really good actually, but yeah, it's actually a street bike, a road bike. You'll have good fun with it on the road as well. Yes, it can handle some bad stuff, but it's not going to be that friendly off the road. It's big, it's fast, it looks great, it's built well, and that's what the Bear 650 is all about. Can you use it for touring? Yes, one-up touring I think is going to be really fun. You can maintain some really good speeds on the highway. You can carry a lot of luggage on it. I'm sure by now a lot of the accessories will be out. It should be really fun actually touring, because it's got a really nice commanding riding position. You'll feel really planted, and the engine will sit at 100-120 all day without any complaint. Can you use it daily? Yes. If you have a lot of stop and go traffic, yeah, the heat is going to get at you. If you have moving traffic, it's going to be fine. It's nimble, it's quick in turns, it handles much better than the Interceptor did, and better ground clearance and better visibility. So all in all, I feel it's like a much better upgraded version of the Interceptor. Yeah, it has its own quirks though, like I said in the review. So anyways, that's what the Bear 650 is all about. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, any comments on what you just saw, leave a comment below and surely I will get back to you.